Oh shit. Am I back at it? Oh god, it looks like I am. So, I suppose first things first, even though this video will be talking about RTX of this year, 2014, I should talk about why I've been gone for all my 3 fans who care. A lot's been going on in my life. I moved, I had a surgery done, I got a new job. It was just a whole ordeal, you know. It's whatever. And I should also probably tell you guys that my videos probably won't be following the same formula from now on. I mean, I'll still be doing these, like, commentary things where, you know, as always, the video gameplay doesn't really matter all that much because, as you can see, I'm really not that great at Titanfall, for example. It's mostly just a backdrop, really. Yeah, but let's talk RTX. So this is actually my second RTX I went to. The first one was, of course, 2013, last year, and that RTX had 10,000 people at it. This year, if I'm not mistaken, it did sell out, and that was 30,000 people all went to Austin to the convention center. All really diehard Rooster Teeth fans like me. A lot of them obviously have been diehard fans since the beginning or near the beginning, you know, started following it with Red vs. Blue season 1 or 2 or whatever. And then there's a lot of the people who typically, and this is no slight against them because I love them, and it's no slight against the fan base because, hey, good for you. But there's a lot of 14-year-olds. I noticed the presence of parents a lot more this year. You know, you know what I'm talking about, the older dude, 45, 50, Hawaiian t-shirt, sitting there really unamused in the line for like the Achievement Hunter panel or something, just on his phone playing solitaire or Angry Birds, whatever old fucking parents play these days. You know, they actually even had a parent section at the convention, at the bottom floor before you go into the showroom, where there's a bunch of benches and whatnot, and parents could just go and hang out and wait for their kids to do their little fanboy thing. But no, it was cool. It was fun. Barbara mentioned over and over again to really only pick out like 1 or 2 panels that you really want to see, or I guess shows, because I did live stuff on the showroom that you really want to see, because chances are that's really all you're gonna be able to get. And no fucking shit was she right. So the problem with RTX, and I love it, I had a blast. My friends that I went with all really thoroughly enjoyed it. But the problem with it is that they're trying to become essentially another PAX, at least from my impression of it. Which is cool, you know, just a convention made for people on the internet, people who play games, people who watch YouTube videos, whatever, and enjoy online content, made, like, being held by those same people. And that's awesome, but it does come with a bit of an issue, in that all 30,000 people there, or at least a good majority of them, myself included, were there because we love Rooster Teeth, and it's the convention they hold. It isn't the Rooster Teeth convention, mind you, but it is what they're doing, you know, and a lot of the content was focused around stuff they do. The majority of the big panels were obviously older panels and everything, and that's 30,000 people all trying to meet and see and attend panels and signings and autographs or whatever of a staff of 60 people. Realistically, probably a staff of like 20, 30 people that actually get time on camera or in YouTube videos and are more popular within the community. And in theory, that's really cool because you have 30,000 diehard fans that are willing to fly all the way to Austin, Texas. I know I flew over there from San Francisco, like that area. But there's plenty of people that came from like New Zealand and Australia and the UK, wherever. That's a lot of money and a lot of time and dedication, all to see this one company, which is fucking incredible. But I mean, realistically, like in principle, that's totally cool, but realistically, it just isn't able to be done. Like it's impossible. Last year, granted, it was still 10,000 people, but I was able to see everyone I wanted to see. I met all the Achievement Hunter guys. I got stuff signed by them. I met Bernie and Barbara and Gus and all of them. But that was a whole lot of commitment and dedication, even just with 10,000 people there. I remember in 2013, which granted they changed the system now, which was probably for the better, but they had this whole Achievement Hunter panel, not panel, I guess it's like a lounge is what they were calling it, where it was essentially just 6 benches, or not benches, like seats, where the Achievement Hunter guys would sit and you can meet them and get them to sign stuff and everything. And the average wait for that was about 5-6 hours. And I remember last year, in order to even sort of deal with that line, one of our buddies picked a day, Saturday, I believe, which I guess isn't really relevant right now, but he picked a day where immediately once we get to the convention, first thing in the morning, he was just going to go and sit in line and wait and hold a spot for us. Which, yes, is against the rules, but it was really the only way to achieve that and still be able to sort of see the panels we wanted to see. And even then, it was about 4 or 5 hours of waiting in line to be able to meet all of them. Because, of course, the good majority of those guys don't just do Achievement Hunter. Like, Jeff was a part of several panels himself, as was Michael and Gavin and whatnot. So I remember actually all of them were there except for Jeff. And we ended up having to wait at the very front of the line for another hour or so with a good 20 other people just for Jeff to come up so we could meet the entire crew. And that was 10,000 people. So 30,000, as you can imagine, was chaotic. You know, they tried to fix it. They tried to remedy that whole situation. They had multiple signings of everyone. And, well, all the big names at least, and they gave us plenty of opportunities to be able to do that and meet them and get stuff signed and get pictures taken with them and whatnot, but that itself was still another 2-hour, 3-hour commitment. And, you know, again, they did another thing to try to fix that, in that they didn't allow people to line up for panels and signings and stuff until 2 hours prior to the event, which was cool, again, in theory. The problem with that is, and you know, I gotta give it to the Guardians and all the staff. They tried really hard to enforce that rule, but the fact of the matter is you had thousands of people like waiting for the Bernie and Gus signing, which they were there 2 hours prior, yes, but they were also there 4 or 5 hours prior, which, you know, the Guardians weren't allowing them to line up, but they still sort of just hung around the general area just waiting. And it didn't really give people like me who wanted to see panels and stuff a chance to meet them. Which, granted, for a second time, I'd be doing that, but still, So, I mean, all in all, it was a really fun convention, but obviously it still has its issues, and I can tell that the Rooster Teeth staff, specifically Gus and Barbara, and, you know, all of the, probably, if I had to take a guess, thousands of Guardians that were present all really tried and all wanted us to have the best experience possible and tried to enforce the rules, and I gotta give it to them. I mean, they all did a phenomenal job. The Guardians, the good majority of them, 85–90% of them, were all really great, really helpful and approachable and stuff. And of course, Barbara did a fantastic job in organizing everything, as did Gus, but it just seems like kind of an impossible task to be able to put this all together and have everyone get to see what they want to see and meet who they want to meet, just with this sheer volume of people. I mean, I can't speak for how big the convention is going to be next year. If I had to guess, it's either going to hang around 30,000 or probably get bumped up to like 50. But right now at 30,000, don't expect to meet all the big names. Don't expect to meet Bernie and Jeff and Gus and Ray and Michael and Ryan and Jack and, you know, Carrie and Miles and stuff. Just it's impossible. Even not just meeting them, don't expect to be able to go to every panel. I can tell you that I didn't get to go to the Achievement Hunter panel, which I really wanted to see, and they even did 2 of, because it didn't start until 10 o'clock in the morning, but people started to line up for that at 5. So, I mean, this isn't by any way me deterring you from going to the convention. If you didn't go this year, absolutely go next year. If not for the convention itself, then for the city, because Austin's a great place. But just know that it's not going to go as planned. That's all. So yeah, thanks for watching, and let me know what you think in the comments.